In the Rainbow Cup, and both Munster and Cardiff still very much in the shake-up. Johan van Graan makes 7 changes from the side, beaten 24-20 by Connacht here a fortnight ago. James Cronin and CJ Stander bidding farewell to Thomond Park, having been retained in the starting 15, as will Tommy O'Donnell, who starts for the first time since November. No Conor Murray due to a low-grade leg injury, but Joey Carberry comes back in to start. Rory Scannell and Mike Haley restored in place of Dan Goggin and Matt Gallagher. Chris Farrell is unavailable. Dai Young's lineup shows just a couple of changes from that side that started the 29-28 win over the Scarlets in Clonethley in round 3. Both of those coming in the forward pack. Corey Domachowski replacing Rhys Carey, and James Botham fit to return to the open side flank, with Ollie Robinson dropping to the bench. As you were then in the back line, with Thomas Williams and Jared Evans in the half-backs. Hallam Amos among the tries in that real roller coaster of a game at the Scarlets, with Matthew Morgan back among the replacements. Adams and Harries offering plenty of cutting edge in the wider channels. Ben Thomas has really embraced the opportunity to bring that dual playmaker role to this ever-evolving and improving Blues attack. Well, I think Dai Young was a little bit nonplussed by the Rainbow Cup, initially seeing it perhaps as a unique opportunity to get 5 very competitive pre-season matches in to survey the Blues' depth chart and integrate any systemic changes to the region. But those couple of Welsh derby wins over the Dragons and the Scarlets have certainly changed the picture ahead of round 4. And if Cardiff could somehow conjure an historic first ever win at Thomond Park, well, they would be right back in the thick of that 4 or 5-way fight for a place in the final. CJ Stander runs out for his final Thomond Park appearance, 8.5 years after his first, when starting a match for Munster for the very first time. He scored 2 tries here against Glasgow, the second of which was a barnstorming 80-metre burst from inside his own 22 when he outstripped the cover and dived over in the corner, arms aloft in celebration. Emotional night for others too. James Cronin has had a superb season this year. He's off to pastures new. And Tommy O'Donnell, of course, a long-time servant of the province. Discipline will be key for both sides tonight. Andrew Brace is the man in charge. The defeat to Connacht finished in high drama and controversy. Cardiff, for their part, discipline a factor too. They've conceded 26 penalties in the last 2 matches, but they won them both by a point. But as I said, they've never won here in Limerick, at the home of Munster. They've had a couple of good results done in Musgrave Park in Cork in recent years. No surprise to see CJ Stander get his hands on the ball very early. His final appearance in green for Ireland, his 51st and final match for his adopted country, was a huge performance. And do not bet against anything else tonight on this, his 156th appearance for Munster, and his last, as we said, at Thomond Park. In goes the tackle from Niall Scannell in that Munster front row tonight. Cronin, Scannell and Archer. Do or die, says Graham Rowntree, in the build-up to this game this week. A lot of good sound bites out of the Munster training paddock this week. They know the importance of this game, having put themselves in prime position in the Rainbow Cup with that win at the RDS, only to see it taken out of their hands in many respects by defeat to Connacht. This is a positive start, though, from the team in blue. The visitors on the rampage with that man, Dylan Lewis, who's getting involved very early. CJ Stander extrapolates himself from that position, not falling foul of the whistle of Andrew Brace, and again they're comfortable putting the ball into the wide channels, into the hands of Jason Harries, and he had the option of his opposite winger Josh Adams back inside. That's a real shot across the boys from this Cardiff Blues team, confident with ball in hand and moving it to the edge very quickly. They have been in try-scoring mood of late. It was their Achilles heel during the regular season, but a frantic start inside the opening 90 seconds, Bernard.
Yeah, great warning shot from Cardiff to Munster in terms of their ability ball in hand, and we just see they're so unlucky. If that, you know, they 2 men on the inside, Adams and Williams. If that ball goes to hand, it's certain try. You know, Munster like the box kick to contest it, and Cardiff Blues just showed what attacking shape they have. And I thought Casey was dead right to get that off the field on a second box kick, just to give him a chance to settle down.
Christian Dacey goes for and finds Corey Hill out into midfield, and quickly recycled by Thomas Williams straight into the hand of the 8 times capped Welsh hooker Christian Dacey again, and Jared Evans, the little no-look pass inside, big hole. Hollow now options left and right. Great opportunity, very difficult to stop Thomas Williams from this kind of range, and Munster can't do it. The scrum half finishes inside 2.5 millions. Searing burst right up the centre of the pitch. Architect was Willis Hollow into the hands of the scrum half, and he's over for a 17th try for the Cardiff Blues. What a start by the Welsh side.
Yeah, what a line. You got to play flat on the gate line to beat that rush defence. And Halilolo, it was very marginal, but I think he's got the rub of the green there. But great line, great pass from Evans. And then once Halilolo gets behind you, just the composure he has to draw the full back, and eventually goes back on a switch play to Williams. Brilliant try, and I mean, what a start from Cardiff Blues.
What a start. As we said, that early warning shot over on the far side. Ball in play for almost every second of the opening 3 minutes. Won the line out and set up the secondary attack. Grasped the opportunity with both hands. And he's manufactured that left to right off the kicking tee, has Jared Evans, and it's a brilliant start.
Yeah, but it's the deception line out the back as well. So Jared Evans has the short runner there, Halilolo, and he has the ball out the back, and the Munster defender just took his eye off it for a second, and he couldn't regain his footwork to get back in position. But a beautiful try from the Cardiff team.
A team who were criticised for not being ruthless and clinical enough at times during the regular Guinness Pro 14 season, finished with only 30 tries, which put them down in 10th of 12 teams in the pecking order. A very, very solid defence, but we saw that cutting edge in attack, and we might chat as the game goes on. It's an evolving Cardiff Blues attack. They've definitely changed the way they shape up at times, but meantime Munster have the ball back and will have to put into the scrum.
100%, yeah. 8 seconds.
So basically, yeah, he's pinged Thomas Williams for not using it in time. I think Cardiff are pretty disappointed with that. I mean, usually referees do give you a second warning, particularly early in the game, but Andrew Brace is obviously looking to set his stall out. And I suppose Cardiff will just hope that he's the same on the Munster ball.
I don't think the back legs of the Caterpillar had even arrived before his time was up, so he was testing Andrew Brace's patience, and he didn't get away with it. Maybe that'll speed things up.
Both in. Go again, quick reset, let's go again.
In fairness to Williams, he's not a 9 that does take the P in terms of getting, creating the Caterpillar really long, taking his time. He's a snappy 9 who likes to get the ball away a lot quicker. So unusual for him, but gives Munster a great field position.
Crouch! Bind!
Definitely would have expected to see him on a plane to South Africa were it not for injuries, which really ruled him out of the entire Autumn Nations Cup, and he only played briefly in the Six Nations, injured of course in the first game against Ireland, but was very much on that trajectory.
Needs stability, guys. Needs stability.
He's turned things around pretty quickly, hasn't he, since coming in as the director of rugby, Di Young.
Yeah, I think he's done a great job. He's just got so much experience. Obviously knows the region well from his time there before he went to England to the Premiership to Wasps, and he's come back, and there's definitely been a boost in performance since he's come back.
Stand up, time off.
Premiership final in 2017 at Wasps, and
just come here for a sec.
Heineken Cup semi-final with the Blues.
It's not what we discussed, is it? Okay, I need you to maintain the discipline on binds. I'm not going to change my calls, Ed, so work with me, please.
Domachowski nearest to us, Christian Dacey and Dylan Lewis. No Rhys Gill or...
Let's go. Crouch!
Rhys Carey and Dimitri Arhip, two pretty solid replacements on the Cardiff bench as the evening wears on as well, in that front row department in particular. Now Stander off the base at real pace and up into that Blues 22. Lots of angles and options for Casey. Jack O'Donoghue was one of those. Pop back inside, tight head to loose head. Archer back into Cronin, picked up by Dale Andy now, tackled by Josh Turnbull, the ubiquitous, ever-present Josh Turnbull. Over 200 appearances for the region. Taken on now by Finian Wycherley at the other end of his career.
Not in control though. Not in control.
Shrill blast from Andrew Brace, and another attacking move comes to nothing for Munster.
Off feet too, never in control.
Yeah, good defensive set from Cardiff. In fairness, Stander got over the gain line, so it was difficult to regain momentum, but they did. They didn't give away any penalties. Low or missed tackles were very low, and then obviously you just see here Scannell goes flying off his feet. You know, it's a little bit reckless, and Andrew Brace picks up on it.
Okay, let's go then. Yeah.
Taking on, I think it was James Botham on the open side flank for Cardiff this evening, back into the team. Good to see him back. He's had a terrific season. Still only 23 and capped 6 times by Wales. Yeah,
he's a player that Wayne Pivac thinks a lot of. The amount of good back rows in Welsh rugby is phenomenal, from Tipperick and Navidi, Falatau down to the likes of Wainwright and Bota. And this guy James Ratty, who's playing 8 today, is a quality operator as well. It's an area that there's so much depth in.
Don't close.
James Ratty, who's really adapted his game from, I suppose, a second row by nature. It's definitely one position maybe that as a recruitment drive the Blues will target maybe a hooker on a number 8 is being said. That's what's required. Andrew Conway back on the try sheet a couple of weeks ago. Here's Carberry now. Dialende with Shane Daly on the outside trying to go round his man. Jason Harry's usually pretty solid in defence, plenty of bulk in there.
Happy Rob. Play on. Take him back. Take him back. Hold!
Haley underneath this one. Ever dependable. He's had a very, very solid season. 19th start of this campaign. 4 tries to his credit. Casey. Wycherley now with O'Donoghue just to his inside.
Hold in front line.
Time and space for Carberry to try and plant his kick right on the edge of the 22. Really good kick and knocked back by Conway, but that was very difficult for Dialende to try and deal with.
Correct, yeah.
And then lost 4.
Yeah, 13 on the ground, yeah.
Yeah, that's unlucky for Munster. Really good game management from Carberry. They didn't really look like they were on the front foot, had no momentum, and decided to go to the air. Put up a really good contestable onto Hallam Amos's head, and Conway's so good in the air. He gets a great chase, gets up in front, even though Josh Adams doing a good escort line, and just unlucky that Delande. It's hard ball for Delande to pick up, but you know, great chase by Conway, but yeah, no return from it.
Still need stability, guys. Okay, let's just work it out, 2 of you.
Hallam Amos back in at full back again this evening. Matthew Morgan fit enough to be back on the bench. 8 seasons, of course, for Amos at the Dragons.
When you're happy, guys, don't go on the mark, look, too. Please.
He's a very talented player. I think he's
go left of the mark. Thank you.
He played for the Dragons when he was about 18. I think he's either finished medicine now, or he's very close to finishing medicine, for a very bright player. Great left foot, can play wing or fullback, or even 13 very well, and yeah, he's very dangerous. If Munster kick poorly to them, he'll punish them.
Set.
Picked from the base by James Ratty.
Use it. Wait on.
No trouble, and
offside, the ball was never out.
Never out, yeah.
Correct.
Thomas Williams didn't have time because Finian Wycherley went a little bit too early.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has to be lifted, not out.
Scrum cap number 5.
Number 5. Yeah, fair enough. Got to be lifted though. 5.
It's good work by the officials there to work as a team. I think Andrew Brace hadn't picked up that he was offside, but one of the touch judges, I'm not sure which one, got the word into him that the ball wasn't lifted, and right decision made.
That just affords the Cardiff Blues some field position inside the Munster half. You go back to the game that we really enjoyed, Monday Night Rugby in October. Here was one of the games of the season, a real try fest in the second half, and that try of the season scored by JJ Hanrahan. But Cardiff were in a position in that second half 2 or 3 times to try and get a stranglehold on the game, but they finished the match with 30% possession, which you don't often get a win at Thomond Park with those kind of stats, so maybe they might have kicked the ball a little more. Dacey goes to the front, and it's clean ball, albeit not straight into the arms of Thomas Williams. Just has to readjust, but he's quickly to the base now to try and get his team moving on the front foot again. And away and off that wing, Josh Adams taking it on the narrow channel from Jared Evans.
No.
Big collision again. Tommy O'Donnell off the line quickly to smash his opponent, and Cardiff held up on halfway, but quick hands again. Exchange of passes either hollow in the thick of things again. DLND just slowing things down for the Cardiff scrum half. 12 minutes in, 7 points to 0 in favour of our Welsh visitors. Carried on by Domachowski. A tricky one for Seb Davies to try and gather, and he couldn't manage it.
Yeah, but it's unlucky. It's playing flat in the gain line. It's taking risks, and Seb Davies catches that. And he's true to the defensive line, and that's what that's what led to the first try from the Holo break. And we just see there then Ben Thomas, who, as I said earlier, he's a second playmaker. He can take one side of the field, and you have Jared Evans on the other side, and you split your attacking playmakers, and he's capable of putting those passes and putting players into space by playing flat in the gain line. I just think that's what's given Munster a lot of issues defensively. You see them going down the blind side, down the right hand side twice already, and look dangerous. So yeah, Munster need to start slowing down the ruck ball and be able to shut down both sides of the breakdown.
Nasty collision, as you saw, between Christian Dacey and Tommy O'Donnell. No doubt Cardiff would have talked a lot this week about potentially slowing down Munster ball because they're so good over the ball.
I think he just fell into it. And it was just a rugby incident.
High turnover team.
And my TMO's confirmed that as well. Yeah, he's confirmed that, so he's fallen into that. He's gone on the way down.
As you can probably hear from Andrew Brace on the refs, Mike, he's okay with that
let's
collision
go.
we saw a couple of moments ago. Nothing further to be added, having spoken to Ollie Hodges about it, so on we go.
Right. Yeah.
2017, the last time a Welsh region came to Thomond Park and won here. That was the Scarlets in their title-winning season. For about 3.5 years after that, no side won here with the exception of Leinster, until Munster were beaten 3 times in quick succession by Leinster, Toulouse, and most recently Connacht.
Yeah. Okay.
So tight in the Rainbow Cup table. 5 rounds of matches before that trans-hemisphere final in Treviso on June the 19th, and really the side sitting first to 7th could still make the final. Just 5 points separating them. Benetton top of the pile on 14 points.
No,
just a reset.
On the axis, you're not getting a reward. Let's go again.
In fairness to Munster, they haven't really started well, and they'll be looking for their scrum to give them an entry point into the game. So you can see them, they're looking to milk a penalty. They did earlier on, ended up with a free kick, and went for the reset but didn't get any movement forward. You see Corey Hill there just geeing up his front row. He knows this is an important scrum for the Cardiff team in terms of giving Andrew Brace a positive mindset around their ability to hold Munster up.
Another shrewd acquisition, really, Corey Hill, isn't he? Having spent, what, 7 years away from his native region back at Cardiff.
Yeah, I was looking up to work with Corey in the Dragons. He came from the Cardiff Blues Academy and really made a name for himself in the Dragons. Was a great leader there. Obviously, broke through into the Welsh team, and he's back now in his home region. But top man, and
on the arm, red. Bind is never long enough, and he's come short and pulled down.
He'll enjoy that. He likes to scrimmage, Corey. Penalty against Stephen Archer,
yeah,
for his bind.
Short bind picked up by the referee's assistant on this near side.
Josh, I'm going to say it to them. We need to sort this scrums out.
It's funny, Andrew Brace is telling Josh Adams you know, we need to sort these scrums out. We haven't had one completed scrum, but Cardiff are the ones that won the penalty. I don't think they're really worried at the moment. He said, I'm going to talk to them about it. And he's going to see CJ Stander now to tell him.
You have to sort the scrums out. I said it to them.
You know, I agree with you. 15 minutes in, it's been a little bit sluggish from Munster, but much of that is because of the appetite and the attitude being shown by Cardiff. And here they are again, camped in that Munster 22
on the 10
with the opportunity from the set piece.
More! Back 9!
Can they get some forward momentum from this maul?
Don't change.
And they'll get a second bite at it now. Munster a little bit short of numbers if Cardiff can get some weight behind it. Piling in the bodies now. Dylan Lewis goes in there as well, but Thomas Williams wants to play. And here they go with Ben Thomas just wrapped up in midfield. Scannell did well, and Stander couldn't quite get over the ball. Queuing up here now, and into the forwards they go. Stander goes fishing for it, can't quite get near it as well. Corey Hill then takes it on Thomas Williams, and they put it through the hands here potentially.
Just a knock on, Andy.
Agreed.
Just a knock on.
Agreed.
Mike Healy was sniffing out the intercept there in the
hands,
bright
genuine
sunshine
control
over on
for
the
ball.
far side.
Good, Rob.
You see, this is what Jared Evans gives you. He's
Just
not
knock
afraid to
on, it's
throw
a
that
genuine
pass,
attempt
and
to go for ball.
you know, Haley thinks he can pick it off and go the length, but if he doesn't get there, it's Harry's in the corner, and you love that from your 10, having the guts to be brave. So many teams just want to slow the ball down 5 yards out and go into a pick and go game. The Blues will try and play with higher tempo, and I just think Young will be so happy with that scrum, win the scrum penalty, kick to the corner, win the line, and then actually have Munster under pressure with the maul as well. So they've ticked all the boxes in terms of, you know, playing with good attacking intent, you know, and their set piece showing up pretty well so far.
Well, winning is a pretty good habit to have. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 point or 10, it's still 4 or 5 points on the board, and those two narrow victories over their Welsh counterparts has put them in the hunt. Still in there from Williams, and now they go with the powerful Jason Harries. Quick ball from Williams again, good presentation and delivery. Turnbull now right in front of those Munster posts, and Munster have to be so alert to Thomas Williams. He's such a sniping threat. He's keeping them very honest in there. Corey Hill now. Penalty advantage. I think it might be against Stephen Archer, and it's going to be another real opportunity for Cardiff here to try and embellish this advantage given to them by that Thomas Williams try. Oh, it's great again from Jared Evans. Good take from Hallamemos inside that 5 metre line. Munster need to be very careful here now in terms of their discipline not to concede another penalty in the red zone, with Cardiff on the rampage looking for a second try. Slows down a little bit, and back we go for that penalty.
5 metre on the right hand post, yeah.
Number 3 going to roll out.
Munster looking to get away with that. I mean, it was a beautiful dummy kick from Jared Evans, and then a pass to Hallamemos in space, and it took a huge, you know, last grass tackle. You see here Corey Hill and Archer. He just got to get out of there. I mean, it's such a bad picture for the referee. You're always going to picked up from that, and ironically, they would have probably had a jackal attempt if he wasn't there, because Corey Hill had got isolated. Yeah, so Munster have started really poorly, as you said. The Cardiff team haven't let them settle at all, and it's exactly what you want, you know, away from home. Just get stuck into them early, you know, be precise, and now they're going to have a 10-0 lead.
That's fair enough. I'm not saying that.
Over it goes from Jared Evans. It might have been 5, it could have been 7. It's 3, but nonetheless it's a 10-point advantage. 19 minutes gone. Dai Young must be absolutely delighted with what he's seen, and some of what he can't quite see in the early summer sunshine, shall we call it. A few grey clouds gathering overhead in Limerick, but all the grey clouds around this Munster performance so far has been pretty much all Cardiff, and probably prudent to take the 3 points and just keep that scoreboard ticking over. And they would have been guilty time and again during the Pro 14 season of not having the greatest ratio of points per 22 entry. Cardiff.
Hold us there. Use it!
And they've lost each of the last 4 against Munster, and as I said, not yet on the register of wins in Limerick. So it's a fine start by the visiting team. Klein gets it away to Carberry, bides his time to find Scannell, and all the way out now to Conway. It's just not happening thus far for Munster.
Yeah, there's no slickness to it. I mean, you know, they played a little ball at the back to Carberry, but all the forwards lines were off. They weren't really going to hold the Cardiff defence, and then they just throw a loopy ball over the top to Conway, and if he doesn't kick that, he gets smashed into touch. But obviously, he gets a poor kick in, and yeah, it's just, you know, Munster just needs some stimulus. You need someone like CJ Stander now to take this game by the scruff of the neck, or else you can see the Blues adding to the score.
Good.
Again, variation, thinking on their feet, alive to all the possibilities. Quick ball to the front allows Adams again a long way in off his wing to drive at that Munster defence, and here they go now, straight away from Evans over the top to Harries, kicked in behind. Back now on defensive duty, Conway.
Use it!
Does pretty well, Casey not. Spent a lot of time in the opening 20 minutes looking to our left down into the Munster 22. And certainly this half of the field. Domachowski now pops it away to Christian Dacey. Oh, it's a lovely exchange between Hooker and Loosehead. And that's what Da Young is trying to bring. He wants his props carrying ball, and his two locks, if he can, slightly wider out to try and move this attack forward for Cardiff. They're running out of pitch, but they've kept that in, I think. Hollow somehow. Not the second time, though.
Yeah, I don't know how Alaro kept that in there. I mean, it was odds on he's going to be put out man and ball, but from the secondary effort, Munster get him out. But
it's an exit. Okay, so he's entered good and he's claimed it inside.
Yeah, Andrew Bates is explaining something there, but Munster are asleep. I mean, the previous line out, Cardiff through to the front, which isn't a big deal, but the issue was they just passed it back to Josh Adams, you know, so the ball's off the front, the ball's in the air a long time to get to Josh Adams, and he gets over the gain line easily, and that makes the next phase you know, soft where they go down the blind side with Harry. So just they're not at the same level of tempo or intensity that they had been, you know, the first 3 rounds.
Yes, they just need some kind of a spark. A long way over the top to Rory Scannell that time.
Okay, away now, everybody.
Taken on by Cronin.
No, play the ball.
And there's another mistake.
Still alive, nice.
Yeah, it's just infectious now. You know, they play 2 phases to get a box kick, and you know, unfortunately for Craig Casey, that just drifts out. But yeah, I think maybe they should just go back to being a little bit more direct. Stop kicking it away for 5 or 10 minutes. Get their big ball carriers into the game. Get the likes of Delande running, because you know, Cardiff just have it so easy at the moment. There's a couple of phases from Munster. They kick it back to them, or there's an error, and they'll be very comfortable with how this game has gone.
It's another clean take at line-out time for Cardiff.
Wait.
Williams now to Dacey, who's seen a lot of ball. Jared Evans now to Josh Adams, another who's got his hands on it. The alarm bells ringing inside that Munster defence again. They just ran out of pitch, and
forward by Blue first.
Okay, first. Yeah, first and then second.
Last forward by Blue.
First by Blue.
again, it's simple, but it's creating another opportunity. That was a half-decent chance as well.
Yeah, we just see it here. He's just using Josh Adams again, the outside of the land. Amos will always try and offload in that area. In fairness, I think Harry just gets blocked. He's trying to come back inside, and there's a knock on there. But Munster, just that outside channel, we saw it earlier on the season against Leinster. Delande just seems to get caught in two minds, whether he's coming up and in, or he comes up and drifts again, which is no problem. But the connection between him and Haley isn't always as connected as you would like, and teams are starting to exploit that a little bit.
Okay. Control the load. Control the load. Seconds. Crouch. Bind. Set. Stay bound.
Very solid from Munster, and here's Carberry now. From outside his own 22 down to the Cardiff 22. Into the arms of Jason Harries, the much travelled 32-year-old. London Scots and Edinburgh. Very prominent on the 7 circuit back in the early part of his career.
Blues again. Hold on. Wait on.
Again, it's comfortably taken by Jared Evans. Harries again, plenty of green grass back in that 22. All the way back there goes Joey Carby, overcooked it ever so slightly.
But it's another massive win for Cardiff. I mean, kick tennis. Munster eventually manipulated a situation where there's just Jared Evans in the backfield. They put up a contestable on him, and he's able to catch the ball, skip down the blind side, and then put in Cardiff put in the winning kick, which obviously forces Munster to kick it out. But I mean, if you put up a contestable like that with a 10 in the backfield, you got to hit man and ball. There's just the intensity of the kick chase is nowhere near good enough.
Back 9, back. More. One stop. Don't come back, don't come in. Good. Use it now.
Cardiff do use it. Cardiff wanted a penalty, felt there was a Munster player coming in from the side. You probably heard that on Andrew Brace's mic.
Use it.
Hollow went to ground there for Thomas Williams. James Ratty again. Once again, Cardiff beyond that Munster 10-metre line and making progress towards the 22, and good progress with Seb Davies and Evans now in lovely hands. Josh Adams, good cover by Healy, had to get his man and did, but it's back with that man Evans again, who's dictating terms here, and it's Cardiff dictating
good. Leave it, Blues. Leave
almost
it, Blues.
every aspect of the game here. Munster needed that turnover.
Yeah, that could be a key moment for them. They just needed some spark.
Come here. Time off. 9. Captain.
Bit of back chat, I think.
Okay, so the law is pretty clear. So turnover is good, and then he affected the clean then, so he needs to roll out. I'm not sure on the number, 4 I think. If this player shouts to me like that, I'll send him off. Is that clear?
Yeah, I just spoke about the lack of intensity in the kick chase, but you see the turnover there. Fairness to James Cronin, who has it there, and yeah, he wants to play. But just see here, just that the handling, it's a late tackle, but the building.
Turnover good, and 4 not rolling out.
That offload from Josh Adams, we've seen 5 or 6 offloads from Cardiff in the tackle when they're not going forward, so they haven't got they haven't got through the tackle area, which is when normally you get offloads away. So it's a real sign that Munster don't have that second man in, forcing, putting pressure on that ball carrier, and they're basically, it's too soft in contact, and they're allowed to keep the ball alive. So I'd say Johan van Graan is just dying to get Munster into the dressing room and try and have a word with him, because it's very lethargic so far.
Even just now, after awarding that penalty, when the two teams went into a little huddle, not a lot of energy to be seen in the Munster circle of players, and he looks a little bit antsy up there. Why wouldn't he? 10 points down, but an opportunity here to try and just get themselves into the game.
No, lose. 5. Ten meters in, everybody. He's 2 and 2 there.
The option is Jack O'Donoghue. Away it goes from Scannell. Goodness me.
Yeah, it's typical of how the game's been, but you could see the reason and thinking behind that. So they put Delande to the front of the line out. They use a decoy movement where the forwards came to the front. Delande ends up at the back, and it's a really good opportunity for him just to have a run at the 10 channel. But I'm not sure why he dropped that, but he took his eye off the ball because he wasn't under a huge amount of pressure.
Uncharacteristic and unforced.
Time off then, time off. That's fair enough, yeah. There was another player.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting. Obviously, this game is the result is very much still in the balance, and we're not writing off Munster's chance of winning it. But if Munster are to lose this or aren't to qualify for the final, I think Johan van Graan will probably regret how, I suppose, conservative he was in the selection for these games. I mean, the game against Connacht, 4 of the pack who started against Connacht won't be here next year. We see some of the players playing tonight won't be here next year. So they haven't really used this competition, this Rainbow Cup, as an opportunity to blood a lot of players. But if they end up, I think you tolerate that if you get silverware or get to a final. But if you don't, then obviously I think you have big regrets on it.
Yeah. Nice and straight. 3, strong left side 1.
Yes, given the way the regular season finished up, And the fact that we've said time and time again, it's a decade and more now since they last lifted a trophy. This was a gilt-edged opportunity to get the result they did at the RDS, which was a superb performance. To keep Leinster to the score they did and to get the bonus point.
Yes, correct.
And then to see it slip away against Connacht. Now they need to get going here.
Don't use your hands.
Bring a little bit of intensity and physicality into the game and try and get penalties and try and impose their will on Cardiff, and a little bit more energy and decibel leveling among the forward pack there.
Back 10. You can't go quickly now on the 10.
A lot of back chat, isn't it, coming from
Slowing
Cardiff
ball.
Blues not helping their cause.
Sealing off 3. Counter ruck was good. 3 sealing off.
So this is where now you need your experienced forward pack to just take this line out, maul Cardiff over, get yourself into the game, and settle down. I mean, realistically, given how poor they've been, 10-0 isn't a big deficit, but they want to get something out of this.
More!
Klein at the front.
Lineout's over, guys.
Munster set.
Yeah, lineout's over. One stop!
Scannell has it now. Can they set the compass for straight north on the try line? He's going to get over here, and Scannell does get Munster back in the game right on cue from the old reliable line-out maul. And finally, well, we've almost played half an hour, and Peter O'Mahony applauds his side in familiar fashion as they get themselves up and running.
Yeah, that's good drill. In fairness, they do a little shift drive. They catch it at the front, pop it in the air. You see here, get set. See just stand there the ball, and body position is good. Working together, Scannell's in control at the back, and just find that little soft edge in Cardiff's defence and score. And yeah, that's a big moment. Now hopefully, you know, they'll start to lift a little bit and we get a much better contest.
The 15th try in Munster colours for Niall Scannell. Scored a try against the Blues in February, and he's got his name on the score sheet again right when his team needed it. 10 minutes to go to half time, and Munster have points on the board. Almost flat calm around Thomond Park tonight. Perfect conditions for a good game, and perfect conditions for the kicker Joey Carberry, who duly obliges with the extras. 10 points to 7, 32nd minute of the game.
Yeah, lovely kick from Joey. Fortunately for Joey, he's had no quality ball to show the attacking side to his game, but yeah, I think, you know, his game management's been decent so far. Just needs a little bit of go forward to get him on the front foot.
And we were by no means writing Munster off at 10-0 down, and we won't do the same for Cardiff, but it is worth remembering they conceded 19 points in 10 minutes when they looked to have the match won against the Scarlets and had to rely on a late Jared Evans kick to get the victory. 3 tries and 2 conversions in the space of 10 minutes against the Clonethley men at Parky Scarlets last time out. Domachowski again, tackled by Klein this time. Evans poised and ready. Thomas and the Lion, Josh Adams.
Stay 2, please.
First Cardiff Blues to be included in a Lion squad since Alec Cuthbert in 2013. And Munster get another penalty, and it's another entry point into the game.
4 entry and off feet.
Yeah, but much better intensity in the tackle as well. That second man is forcing the Cardiff ball carrier back on the gain line, and then just you see the poor body position from Cardiff as they come in. You can see Munster trying to celebrate those little wins because they know they've been a little bit behind. There's a great kick from Joey as well to bring him right into the 22.
Super kick, really good from Carberry. And back to where they were 2 or 3 minutes ago from where they scored the Scannell try.
There's a lot of back chat from both sets of players of the referee. You can see Andrew Bray starting to get frustrated. Yeah, so you'd want to nip that in the bud.
He's 2 and 2. He's 2 and 2. 10 metres, Munster.
This time Dealande goes to the back and they go to Jack O'Donoghue at the front. And now they move it to Dealande, something off the training paddock again. That line out time, he's hard to stop from that kind of range. Made 2 or 3 good metres, and now must be surely for Finan Wycherley. 2 tries in quick succession. The launch pad, the set piece of the line out down this near side, and Munster in jig time have turned the tables, and they've turned up finally.
Yeah, it's the same one they tried to play a couple of minutes ago. They knocked on. We just see it here. He's gone to the back of the line out, so the rest of the Cardiff defence have to be back 10 yards, which gives Dealande a chance to get way over the gain line. Strong carry. He's only a metre out. Cardiff overfold, and then Wycherley just sees one-on-one with the 9. And he's so strong, and you know, you'd expect him to score that, but he's such an impressive player, young player, the type of guy who probably needs to get game time. And yeah, he takes advantage of a great opportunity to get a try, and quickly Munster get 2 tries.
Grinding was good, as you saw on the replay, confirmed by Ollie Hodges on a 4th try for Finan Wycherley on his 61st appearance for the 23-year-old Bantry man. And that's an identical strike, straight and true, full of conviction from Joey Carberry, and Munster in the blink of an eye open up a 4-point lead.
Yeah, just looking at this line out, I think Munster don't, or Cardiff don't defend with a tail gunner at the back. Obviously Munster picked up on this, and that's going to give Dealande a great shot at getting over the gain line every time. Unless Cardiff change how to defend defensively, I think Munster will go back to that.
Five minutes to half-time. And the question now being asked of Cardiff, having started so well for the opening 20-25 minutes, can they now respond and stem the flow, the momentum of the game, which has swung dramatically in Munster's favour? Not the greatest of kicks, but it was taken cleanly by Shane Daly and taken on now by Niall Scannell.
Tackle only, move!
Carberry, crossfield kick, inviting Conway forward. Good kick chase, difficult for Evans. Good pick up by Healy. Stays in field, and that gives Jared Evans a big problem, and it's all Munster now. Good option from Healy.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of great momentum swings from Munster there. So Casey puts up a box kick, doesn't probably go as far as he would like, but they get that back, and then from there Carberry puts up a brilliant contestables onto Evans, who he's all at sea, and then a lovely little kick in behind, which gives them a great field position line out, and their maul has looked good, and obviously their little breakout plays look good as well.
9 back. More!
Klein.
Back 11! One stop!
Cardiff get the bodies in there initially to slow it down, but now they press the accelerator, and it's so easy in the end. Steam rolling forward, and Niall Scannell 2 tries in the space of 8 minutes. 3 in total now for Munster, and they have taken a stranglehold of this match out of nowhere. They've woken up after half an hour. Yeah,
and fair play to them. It's the pack who've got them taking the game by the scruff of the neck. 2 tries from Mauls, and then the other try as a direct play off a line out, and just shown that they have the dominance there and the unity to put this Cardiff Blues Cardiff team backwards as a 4-pack. And you see Corey Hill and the Cardiff leaders under the post. They're just trying to find a way of getting back and having a little bit of ball. You know, the reason they were so dominant in the first 20 minutes was they played with ball in hand and managed to keep possession and ask questions of Munster, but for the last 10 minutes has been a big swing in terms of possession and territory.
Yep, spot on again from Joey Carberry. He doesn't have to go back too far for muscle memory from that kicking position. 3 in a row and in quick succession, all struck absolutely sweetly. 21 points to 10. How quickly things can change.
Yeah, and Munster only one try away from the bonus point as well, which is, you know, probably what they need to get out of this game if they want to stay in the hunt. It's a great take from Klein.
It certainly is. Acrobatically done and confidently over his head.
Yeah.
Maybe only one team is going to play 20 minutes in a row, and it's a game of how many points you can score in each quarter of the match.
Joey's going to go to the box kick again, or contest it again to Evans.
Timed it well the last time Conway knocked it down for Healy. This time he's caught it beautifully. Great take.
Wait.
And all those little things that weren't working out for Munster are now look seamless and a little bit effortless at times almost. Tommy O'Donnell now, as they put the ball through the hands, the two Lucy's from O'Donnell to Jack O'Donoghue now. Stander over it there for Casey, now Scannell. Carberry, Healy. Scannell over the top to Conway. Now will he take on his man? He goes inside Evans and Thomas. Pirouette through the tackle of Thomas Williams. Ball there for Casey Wycherley now, galvanised by that second try that he scored for Munster on the night. Carberry again now popping up in those channels, but hit well by Thomas Williams. He read the intentions, quickly off the line. Still Munster ball. Final few seconds of a very interesting first half.
Use it.
A half of two halves.
Yeah.
Over the 40 minutes we go.
Okay, don't come in.
And that'll do for Munster, but it's going to finish on a little bit of an unsavoury note there, as Craig Casey was hit a little bit late on a standing leg.
Two. Leave him.
Teams never like to see that.
Leave him. Walk away.
Yeah, I'd love another look at that. It didn't look great. First time.
I suggest everybody walks away now.
Casey was
If
just
you want to
checking.
stay on the field, I suggest you walk away now. Okay, Ollie. Just wait. Ollie, anything on that tackle? Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't a huge amount in it.
Yeah, it's not really the standing leg as such as it.
It's off the hip. But players are very conscious of that because it is a very dangerous act, but there was nothing wrong with that.
No, there's no foul play. There's no foul play. Yeah, half time. That's half time.
Two captains just having a chat with Andrew Briss. No foul play.
I don't know what started that. There's no foul play in it. My TMO's just confirmed. But you need to get a message across now at half time. If that happens again, players will leave. Is that clear, guys? Okay, thank you. CJ, you need to speak to one.
So the two captains will sort it out, and having been second fiddle for the opening half of that first half and found themselves 10-0 down, Munster sorted themselves out in the second quarter, scoring 3 tries, 2 for Niall Scannell, 1 for Finan Wycherley, all converted by Joey Carberry. 21 points to 10, the game at half-time at Thomond Park. Munster lead. Welcome back, all set to go then for the second 40 minutes here at Thomond Park in Limerick. Munster turning round with that 21 points to 10 half-time advantage, having found their way back into the game after trailing 10 points to no score. 2 tries for Niall Scannell. Sandwiched in between was the finish from Finan Wycherley. So the Munster maul very effective, the line out dominant as well. But Cardiff asked all the right questions in the opening quarter of the game. Now, can they respond, having got into the sheds and got some wise counsel from Dai Young, because it was they who rather slipped into a slumber in the latter part of that half. Looks as though Ollie Robinson has come in for the
Leave it now, Blues.
second half. We'll confirm that for you very shortly, but Thomas Williams has it. Manufactures the pass to Jared Evans, who wasn't really expecting it, or at least not at that height, but he took it nonetheless to fly half.
Use it! Leave it! Leave it!
And then the touch over on that far side, there's a little bit of a schmozzle of sorts. It's 3 against 1. Not in favour of Damien Dialandi, but he's a pretty hardy buck, I'd say.
Yeah, 13 and 1.
It'll be interesting. Andrew Brace warned both captains if there was any more schmozzles, he'd take action.
Just stop. 1.
It's 40 minutes, 46 seconds.
So firstly, I've already spoken to you in the first half, haven't I? Okay, and you've come in and the two of you are holding each other on the ground. It ends, okay? We get up and we walk away, two of you gone. Captains, spoke to you at the end of the half. Okay, if that happens, I'm going to put players off the field. You've got to get a message across, lads.
So it's a final warning.
It's the old final, exactly, yeah.
I'll say it again now.
Until the next time.
I think James Ratty got a knock. He was limping at half time, so I presume Turnbull will go to number 8 now, and Ollie Robinson will play 7.
2, Nige, get 9-2, get 2.
No lack of effort around the tackle area from Ollie Robinson. He's all energy, fully engaged.
Line out over. What stop?
Casey. Conway, that's high, I think, from Robinson. Arm around the neck area. Confirmation of that back row switch for the Blues. And the whistle from Andrew Brace. Penalty Munster.
Yeah. So who's shouting it?
There he is.
That's all it is. It's nothing else.
3 years at Bristol before making his way to Cardiff in 2017.
Yeah, he's been a great signing. Just probably a little bit unlucky there. In fairness to Munster, they didn't get any go forward from the maul. They were actually going backwards, and Conway got a bit of a hospital pass, and his footwork just got him out of trouble, and you know, forced Ollie Robinson to hit him high. But again, it gives Munster a great line-out opportunity, and you know, their maul was rock solid. It was actually dominant in the first half, and they could motor something here and maybe get the bonus point pretty quickly, which looked very unlikely after 20 minutes.
Discipline, please, guys.
Bonus points.
9, stay 2, please.
All important, of course, given the claustrophobic nature of the table, really, in the Rainbow Cup. As I said, 1-7, all in with a decent chance of making the final. Lots can still happen. Bennett's on top of the pile with 3 wins from 3, 14 points. The only unbeaten side.
15.
Standard takes it.
Pulling the support lifter, sacking the support lifter.
Munster have the advantage, but they may not need it just yet. Cronin, that's a good pick-up and drive from Cronin. And look where Munster find themselves, still with that advantage, and they're camped in the wider channels. Back we go for the penalty. It's against Ollie Robinson.
20, collapsing the support lifter.
Yeah, I think obviously Cardiff at half time. You see here,
not the support lifter.
Yeah, well picked up by Andrew Brace. Often you get away with that, and it can really affect the dynamics of the maul. But now Munster are 5 yards out, and obviously Andrew Brace is going to be very much an eagle eye in terms of what Cardiff do legally or illegally to stop this. And I'd fancy Munster to be able to drive them over here.
10 metres, 10. More!
O'Donoghue again.
9, go back!
Initially Cardiff drive them back, but now Munster are set to go again, and can they coordinate it now with that low body position in the tight wedge of the maul? Well, they've lost their way a little bit. Ball goes to ground on 5 metres. Yeah. Cardiff have done well there.
Brilliant defence by Cardiff. They contested in the air. I think Jack O'Donoghue felt Corey Hill maybe had a little bit of contact, but Corey going up forced Jack O'Donoghue backwards, and from there, in fairness, Cardiff didn't. The Cardiff forwards didn't change their binds, and just got in amongst them. And we see Thomas Williams in there, even putting a stop to it. And great turnover for them. Huge moment.
A real psychological boost as well, because they were under the cosh the last 10 minutes of that first half. Munster really using that reliable weapon.
Okay.
Some running repairs for Tommy O'Donnell.
Yeah, hopefully just a little bit of ice will get him through this. It'll be great to see him play 80 minutes. He's been a phenomenal servant for Munster, obviously finishing at the end of the season, and you know, he's had a few injury problems, big injuries to him, which has definitely hampered and limited the number of caps he's got for Ireland. But yeah, a top end player.
Yeah, 2015 pre-World Cup was the real cruel blow for the 2012-2013 Player of the Year. Captained his province for the first time in that historic game against the Maori All Blacks. 187th appearance for the man, first capped for Munster at Musgrave Park in 2007.
Let's go, lads.
13 times down the years for Ireland, but for injury it would have been much more than that, and a very competitive position, of course, that open side flank.
Happy? Yeah.
So having got the put in and turned the ball over, can Cardiff exit their 22 here?
Passive, don't be passive, don't go early.
Past the first test of the second half.
Bind. Set. Stay ball.
Well, there have been Andrew Breas says not straight from Munster. They look to be under pressure, but there was a reason for that in the eyes of the referee, Stephen Archer. And it's been pinged.
Three's never straight. Crabbing across the scrum.
Yeah, huge intent from Munster there, but you see at this angle, just Stephen Archer's just boring in on the side and then shifts across. In fairness to the Blues, they try and keep it straight, but yeah, well picked up by the referee. That's a great kick.
A relieving kick all the way up to
7, Tom.
halfway. So Tommy O'Donnell's last appearance at Thomond Park in Limerick comes to a premature end.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him.
Get him on
but you can see the reaction, respect he has from his teammates, and yeah, everyone appreciates what he's given in the Munster jersey.
Munster. Good. 2 and 2.
A terrific servant.
Sorry.
Munster supporters will be sad to see him go, and we wish him well in future endeavours. In the meantime, Josh Adams, who has looked very lively tonight. Ollie Robinson, Jared Evans, again it's that flat little pop pass just inviting Dylan Lewis, the tight head prop, up to the gain line. Evans again, Thomas, nice sleight of hand. Oh, this is beautiful. And is there a finish? Absolutely sensational try from the Cardiff Blues. Running heads up, offloading rugby at its brilliant best from the visitors. One of the tries of the season, and finished off from Thomas Williams for his second of the night.
Yeah, it's class. You just see again Jared Evans and just that quick hands inside from Ben Thomas to Seb Davies and Thomas Williams. The second try he's got from a really positive support line, but when Jared Evans gets attacking the line, his ability to distribute off both hands and pick the right option is exceptional, and like that's the type of rugby that they played the first 20 minutes. And probably you'd say now, just don't kick the ball away. Play even for a little bit deeper. No, play a little bit deeper, because they just look so comfortable with ball in hand. And it's when they kick it to Munster, they do look under pressure defensively, particularly when they kick it long.
And the 2 points added, crucially as well, from Jared Evans. What a try that is, and this is the aesthetic part of it, but really it was made from the turnover 80-90 metres down the pitch. Yeah,
but again, it's a brilliant line by Seb Davies. He just stays just inside shoulder of Ben Thomas and then hits it hard against the grain, and he's tried that a few times in the first half. One was knocked on, but when they do that, they definitely have the keys to unlock this Munster defence.
Use it!
3 tries to 2, 5 in total, 21-17, 48th minute. A lot of really good contests between these two sides in recent years.
Fellas. Thank you. Same for you, please.
Just a replacement for Tommy O'Donnell. And Jack O'Sullivan is a player that there's huge raps on in Munster. He plays 8 as well. Was very good for the under-20s a couple of years ago, and I'm looking forward to seeing him go tonight and obviously as his career develops. Great turnover by Corey Hill.
Great hand by Corey Hill, and here is that position that the Blues are thriving in now. Open country, ball in hand, heads up stuff. That's good cover from Shane Daly, just did enough to get his man into touch.
Yeah, very good. Very good tackle by Shane Daly, but I think Cardiff will be disappointed with how Jason Harries didn't try and get away from the touchline there. It was all too easy. This part is very good. Just there, he's got to fight to get off the touchline. He's a big, strong man, but if Daly misses, Delande would have got him and put him into touch. So I think he'll be disappointed with his shot selection there.
Yeah, 6'4" and 107 kilograms, Jason Harries.
10 metres.
Shane Daly doing well to usher him into touch, but it's another warning sign.
Ball!
Shrewd play from Corey Hill at line-out time, but Munster have it now with Scannell.
One stop! Use it!
Casey now under pressure from Hill. He stayed down after that tackle from the Cardiff second row. Slowly back to his feet now. Josh Adams under pressure from Andrew Conway. Meantime, just outside that Cardiff 22. Munster getting the penalty. Good work from Conway. He was in there very quickly. And then the support arrived as well.
13 arriving player.
Yeah, it was brilliant by Conway. They actually, Cardiff had him overlap, but he came in, spotted the man, gets Josh Adams man a ball, and then Scannell, the referee got him for a squeeze ball. Yeah, putting the ball back between his legs, and a big turnover. And I think Munster happy just to take 3 points here and make it a 7-point lead.
Looks as though, thankfully, Craig Casey is okay. Never nice when you see a player go down under that kind of pressure and twist the knee. Routine meet and drink for Joey Carberry, and it's Munster's first score of this second half, but he's struck the ball very nicely off the tee tonight so far.
Yeah, he's 4 from 4, and it looks like Craig Casey's going to be okay, which is a big boost. I think it'd be great to see him get a really decent amount of game time tonight.
Bracey, replacement from blue, number 9.
Next stop.
And Craig Casey looks to be okay, but I think Thomas Williams is going to go off for Cardiff. Lloyd Williams, replacement scrum half on the bench. Nick McCarthy, by the way, on the bench for Munster. No Conor Murray tonight. The suggestion is that it's a low-grade leg injury for Murray and that he will be okay for round 5 of the Rainbow Cup. Here's Jared Evans.
Knock-on advantage.
Lost that forward. Stephen Archer moving forward at pace.
No. Advantage over now, stop, 9.
Scannell kicks one into the backfield.
Keep the mark.
Have the mark, Andy. Yeah. Bracey, change, blue, number 9.
Captain?
Yeah, Jared Evans has been brilliant tonight, ball in hand. The only area that he'd be disappointed with is the high ball, and the way Cardiff defend. He's often in the backfield, and Munster found him more often than not, and he just struggled to get clean catches on it, and that time he knocked it on. But from the knock-on advantage, I think Rory Scannell just overcooked his kick into the corner, and Cardiff come back with a scrum on halfway.
2.
6.
6, guys.
So there is that switch at scrum half. Peter O'Mahony is coming in. Jack O'Donoghue, the player to go off for Munster. 52nd minute of the game.
I'll come this side. Happy here? Yeah, guys, happy here? Are we good, Mike?
Yeah, good now, yeah.
Okay, time on. So strong left side, okay? Nice and straight this side.
Plenty to ponder, I'm sure, for Tommy O'Donnell. It must be a strange feeling.
Bind. Set. Okay, fellas.
Well, we're on the wrong side of the pitch to see that, but it looked very messy.
Yeah, very messy. Huge amount of movement.
Tunnel reset.
Cardiff, who've been quite I suppose, in a mode of containment of the scrum. Really fancy to go at him there. You could see Dylan Lewis on this side was really attacking on his side, but the ball obviously just popped out. And they'll have a reset, but a brilliant attacking position for Cardiff here, with likes of Halaholo on this side and Harries, and then obviously Jared Evans and Hallam Amos in behind the scrum. You'd expect them to get well over the gain line here if they execute properly.
Point. Set. Stay ball. Good.
That's better. Turnbull.
Yeah.
Amos and Ben Thomas.
Wait. Wait.
Lloyd Williams. It's a quick ball again for Cardiff, and another good carry from Domachowski. Both he and Lewis have done well tonight. So is this man, Josh Adams. Constant thorn in the Munster side, and now it's both them. Gets away from the tackle of Wycherley.
No.
Good feet. Lloyd Williams again. Evans. Here is the aforementioned Dylan Lewis. 118 kilograms of wrecking ball on a tight head prop, and here's a different player altogether, Willis Halaholo.
Wait on.
Instrumental in that break for the Thomas Williams try after only 2.5 minutes of the game. Jared Evans gets it away to Ben Thomas. Is there a gap on the outside?
No, stop.
Potentially of Peter O'Mahony. There usually isn't, nor was there on that occasion, maybe in the wide channels. Cardiff just ran out of pitch. Good cover though across in double numbers. Haley and Conway.
Yeah, good cover in the end, but you feel Munster just hanging on every time.
Say again, mate. 14. Do you want to check it? Do you want to check it? We'll stop running at the end and start gesticulating, okay?
And there's the nasty clash of heads, isn't it?
Yeah. I got a TMO check. Time off.
Yeah, there's a clash of heads there.
Just on the screen there, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, Bryce, I'm going to show the challenge by 15 red.
Yeah. You're okay, mate.
Ollie
Just let me know
Hodges,
when you're
remember,
ready.
is the TMO, but definitely something worth reviewing here for Andrew Brace.
Yeah, go ahead, mate.
Watching the left shoulder of 15.
15 on 15, Haley on Hallam Amos.
Yeah, keep playing that. I think that's the best angle, isn't it? So keep playing that off.
The problem is there's no wrap.
Conway, definitely, it's his tackle that lowers the height of Hallam Amos, but it's all up to the adjudication of the officials, really.
Yeah, so Conway's tackle changes the picture, but I still think Haley needs to have his duty of care there. For me, that's foul play, in my opinion.
Bryce, you did anything further?
Just this angle. Okay, on.
Okay, that's everything, Bryce.
Yeah. So I've got foul play here, but I am seeing that left arm coming around. I'm not seeing that as a tucked arm, leading shoulder. So I do have shoulder to head, and I'm mitigating down because there's a significant drop by that player. Are you with me on that?
Yep.
So his left arm coming around, he's making a genuine attempt. So it's not a leading shoulder.
It's just clumsy.
Yeah, okay, he's made shoulder to head. It is foul play, but I'm mitigating down because there's a significant drop. Are you with me on that?
Yes.
Okay, yellow card for 15 then.
Just hold there, Gracie.
Yeah,
15
yellow
has gone
card.
off. Bring him back
Yeah,
on.
so it's a yellow card because he's dropped significantly. I'm not seeing it as a lead and shoulder. He is making a genuine attempt to make a legal tackle. However, yeah, he's made shoulder contact to head. Yeah, so it's a yellow card.
Yeah, I think I agree with Ollie Hodges. It was clumsy. I didn't
just
see a
a
huge
yellow.
amount of a wrap or attempt to wrap, but
Yeah.
I
just a
do
yellow,
agree that there was
'cause he's
mitigating
fallen
circumstances
significantly
because
down.
Hallam
You
was
have made a
falling.
legal attempt.
The yellow card's
Yellow
the right
card.
call.
So 10
five?
minutes
I'm on
in
where
the
the
bin
mark
for
is.
Mike Haley.
Okay. Okay, guys, water off, please.
It was going to go off, by the way, but
So yeah, it's foul play. It's a yellow
mitigated
card,
down
yeah.
from a red to a
Yeah,
yellow.
their penalty.
Yeah, I was
Because
just
of
about
the drop in height of Hallam Amos after the tackle from Conway, really.
Okay, here, guys.
to say if I was Cardiff now, I'd be bringing on Matthew Morgan, but he's actually have to come on, I think, for Hallam Amos, just because against 14 men, someone like him with his footwork could really expose that extra space. He's a class act as a running player. So I'd imagine Evans and Thomas and Halolo will look to feed him as much as possible in the next 10 minutes.
Well, there he is, centre of your picture there in the wide scrum cap, poised and ready, but it may not come out into the wide channels just yet. It's in the grasp of Christian Dacey.
One stop!
Confirmation of that switch as Cardiff come looking. There is Hollow now. Can he find a way through? Cronin with the tackle.
It's a tackle, move!
Scannell there too.
Wait on.
Cardiff protect the ball and they get it to both of them. Couldn't get the pass away to Corey Hill, who took a good line, but that's really good for Munster defensively, driving their man back 10 metres and more. Now can they do the same to Damachowski? Finnan Wycherley tackled him, but now there's the architect of so much that's good about Cardiff. Ball in hand for Jared Evans, swallowed up though by CJ Stander. Lloyd Williams now, here is Morgan with those quick feet. Lloyd Williams again. Cardiff recycle. It's good Munster defence. The one-handed offload out of the tackle now. Hollow. Not too many options this side. Munster seem to be quite well set, but that's a great break on the offload. And Cardiff cash in again. This time, well, it's the name Williams on the score sheet again. It's Lloyd instead of Thomas this time, but the Cardiff scrum halves are having an absolute field day here at Thomond Park. And every time they are asked the question, Cardiff, they come up trumps with the answer. It's another brilliant try. We will have a look at it, I believe, upstairs with Ollie Hodges.
Yeah, brilliant by Lloyd Williams here, just keeping that ball alive in contact. And again, you know, they're going backwards, but Halilolo has the trust to throw the pass, and Munster seems to just stop. It's actually Archer. Archer doesn't plug the inside, and there's obviously a doubt about whether it's forward or not. Good effort by Klein. That's not the right angle, but again, Lloyd Williams.
I think the try is good.
In support.
The try is good, Brycey.
Yeah, try is good. We're just checking potential foul play. On 20 red, is it?
Yes.
So it's a tackle on Peter O'Mahony that we're looking for here, and potential for foul play. The try as it stands is good, so it's not for the forward pass. Okay, so here it comes.
Oh, it's against Peter Manny. It's Peter Manny.
Okay, yeah.
Following through.
Just watch O'Mahony as he comes in here on.
I'm not saying anything in that at all.
There's nothing much in that,
Brycey
is there?
doesn't make contact, he's lucky.
I'm afraid Andrew Brace will hear me.
No
He's about 10 yards away. I don't want to.
Try is good.
I don't want to sway the decision. I was trying to see what they were looking for. To be honest, there wasn't a huge amount in it, but yeah, great try for Cardiff, and again, just their willingness to throw the ball and move it to spaces has been, you know, really rewarding for them.
I'm just going to speak to him anyway. It would have been a penalty.
No mistake from Jared Evans. What a game we have. Every time Munster go in front, they're pegged back by Cardiff. It's great, isn't it, from Turnbull, and the offload at the start of it all from the man who finished it, Lloyd Williams, was exceptional.
Yeah, and Turnbull is just such a brilliant player for Cardiff, week in, week out. He's in the top 5 in appearances in this competition, but his level of consistency is phenomenal. And Di Young was speaking about him in his pre-match interview in glowing terms, but week in, week out, he just puts in massive shifts for his team.
207, I think it is, in the Pro 14, and he must have had close to a century or thereabouts of those in Llanelli with the Scarlets.
Yeah. Okay, leave it now, leave it!
Mike Healy, by the way, has left the sin bin for now to undergo a head injury assessment.
Wait on. Follow me! Okay. Use it now!
And so we'll wait to see at the end of 10 minutes whether he will be able to rejoin the game. But Cardiff have capitalised on the numerical advantage with that brilliant try from Lloyd Williams.
Yeah, and they've a really good bench to bring on. You just mentioned Lloyd Williams has been excellent. Ollie Robinson is a top-end player. Their tight head prop, Dimitri Arhib, is one of the best scrummagers in the competition. Reece Carre, Matthew Morgan. So, you know, they've got a nice bench to bring on if the game is in the balance, which it certainly is now.
37-26, I think it was the last time we were here back in October for these two sides, who served up a scintillating game of rugby. Half a dozen tries to the good now, and still the last quarter of the game to go.
One stop! Okay, there.
All held
Through
by
the
the
middle.
perfect conditions as well.
No, don't kill it! No, no!
And there it is for Casey. Stander wants it to lead the charge. Lead the charge, he does, straight into Ollie Robinson. O'Mahony not. Quicker from Casey, but Scannell took that a little bit close to the gain line and was flattened by a two-man tackle.
Tackle and move!
Stander again, he's lost it on the floor.
In the tackle.
It's there for
Leave him.
Dylan Lewis. He gets it on to Seb Davies, and Evans kicks downfield.
It was a turnover for me.
Dale Andy. You got the feeling this game could get very, very loose and open at any time. Munster get the penalty.
You've affected the clean.
Munster get a penalty,
20's
but
good,
you
11's
saw
not.
how hard it is to attack off a maul that doesn't go forward, and you know, Cardiff got amongst them, nearly got a turnover for held up, and from there every single
20's
collision
okay, 11's not.
Munster were going backwards, and eventually the ball was turned over, but they've got a reprieve now with a penalty in their own half, and they'll be expecting Joey to push this maximum distance and try and affect a better quality maul or a launch play that can maybe, I think, we saw Damien off the Glanday off the back of that line out, but we haven't really seen anything from him in open play. I think they need to get him into the game a little bit more.
That's another very, very good kick, isn't it, from Joey Carberry?
Okay, 4, yeah. He's coming in.
Here's a good impact replacement for Munster, bringing on Gavin Coombs for John Klein. Coombs is big, powerful ball carrier, and exactly what you think they need now going into the last 20 minutes.
I don't have 4 eyes.
Absolutely. What a season he's had, Gavin Coombs. What a performance he had here against Toulouse, the heavyweights, the European champions. Couple of tries in that game, 11 in total.
2 at the front, 2 at the front.
Big game at the RDS against Leinster as well, carried brilliantly, and even in
Hold!
defeat in the final he was
Maul!
there to be counted.
Inside 5, line all over.
24 points apiece, 20 minutes to go. Round 4 of the Rainbow Cup.
Yeah, use it.
Munster come looking for that bonus point. Botham with a tackle on Scannell, good pick up from Dialande, and now Botham's over it. He's got one hand on it, can't quite grapple and grasp it enough. Stander now carries the fight to
Tackle,
Corey Hill.
move.
Good collisions all around the park as it just simmers along nicely. First
Tackle.
real involvement for Coombs.
No.
Thomas gets himself out of there. That's unconventional from Wycherley, to say the least. Niall Scannell now takes it on. What are the options to the right for Casey? Archer is one of those, pops it away to Peter O'Mahony. Casey has to effect the clear out. Ball is there for a scrum half if anybody wants to take responsibility.
Away now,
Cronin
2, no hands.
puts his shoulder to the wheel. Robinson goes in to try and get his hands on it.
Stay last feet, Blues.
Munster trundling forward, pick and jam around the corners. It's
He's
tricky.
off his feet and he's denied the clean again. Same as down there.
Cardiff get the penalty, and that could be a
He's
big
denied the
fillip.
contest.
Now, great bit of defence by Cardiff. Route 1 for Munster using their big ball carriers, direct off 9. Casey's
Same as down there.
picking up the tempo of the play. Cardiff, as they got closer to the line, started to put huge amount of defensive pressure in there, and eventually it forces Munster going off their feet.
Let's go, guys, let's
Just
go.
you see Scannell here. I think it's the next one. Pick and goes from Cronin. Ollie Robinson's been a real nuisance, and eventually they seal off there. You see it from Gavin Coombs, but good defensive pressure to break down from Cardiff. Probably forced that.
A couple of minutes left on the Munster yellow card, by the way.
1, 2 and
62
3,
minutes
fellas.
on the watch, 24 apiece. A time for a new front row. Well, you spoke about the likes of Rhys Carey and Dimitri Arhip. Liam Belcher also coming in, but 2 great additions, Carey and Arhip.
Yeah, very different players. Carey's a real dynamic ball carrier, really explosive, and Dimitri's a typical set piece prop,
10-9, please,
hugely
10.
experienced and hugely effective.
More! Line over. 1 stop. Okay, use it.
Up it goes from Lloyd Williams. Conway poised and ready. Ever dependable under that high ball, and he had time to measure it.
Okay, stay.
Casey now to Stander. Can he get any change out of Seb Davies?
Use it.
Munster will kick again. Not entirely kicking
Off the head, play on.
all on their own
Play on.
terms, but that's
Off the head.
alive, and possibilities here for Coombs and O'Mahony. Scannell as well. Stander goes
Hold in
back
front,
to Carberry.
please.
Backfield well covered again from Cardiff and Jared Evans.
Wait. Yeah.
All the way back to
Blues.
Morgan. That's a good thump over to that far side.
Yeah, Munster win that kicking battle again.
Yeah.
Conway's given
Time
Jared
off.
Evans an absolute nightmare in the air, and the ball eventually comes off, I think, his head, and I think Joey probably
James, hold on.
miskicked that kick that Jared Evans catches on the full, but from the second one he finds grass, and once you find grass there, the opposition know there's probably no chance of a counter attack, so they kick it out. And again, Munster have a line out in a promising area, and you know, now it's just about game management.
Yeah.
It's about cup rugby, trying to, you know, nurse your way into a lead, and then look for that fourth try and a victory.
Wait there, yeah.
So Munster
Okay,
respond
time
in kind to the Cardiff changes with a couple of new props coming in.
Hold the 10.
Jeremy Lockman and Keenan Knox in.
More. Okay.
O'Sullivan, the referee
Knock on
almost
advantage.
got in the way, or
Advantage
didn't
over.
quite go to plan for Scannell. And off goes Adams using his pace. That's a really tricky one now for Joey Carberry. Adams has got hands on, has
Okay,
he?
leave it
Can
now,
Munster
leave
secure it?
Use it.
Casey. Munster try and get an angle to kick themselves out of
Safe.
trouble here.
Hold.
Scannell back in the pocket, but Casey will take responsibility. And he's done well.
Yeah, I'd love another look at that
There's no
little
point
strike
shouting
play.
let him up, 'cause
We
that's
see here,
not
this is a
even
brilliant
a goal.
kick down from Lloyd Williams. And look at the chase from Josh Adams, really putting
I know, mate.
O'Sullivan and Carberry under pressure.
Say
He's
again?
in there, he thinks he's on that ball for a second. Looks like he has a little bit of a lift there, maybe lucky not to have a penalty. I think Munster would argue that he didn't let him up.
That's not a law.
But on the previous play, I thought the referee got in the way of the ball, and that's why there was a turnover. It looked like Andrew Brace was in the passing
That's not a
channel.
law. He doesn't need to let him up.
Cardiff have it in midfield now with Evans. You can't take your eyes off that, particularly hollow. Good
Knock on
tackle though
advantage.
from Rory Scannell. Munster back to 15 by the way.
Advantage over.
Knock on advantage, and then Munster spill the ball forward.
The advantage is clearly
I was just
over,
waiting
guys.
for one of the Munster players to kick it,
5-on-2.
because obviously it was a turnover. There was
Clearly
no one in the
over, guys,
backfield.
yeah.
I thought Scannell would.
We knocked it
Obviously,
over,
he
yeah.
didn't back his skill set, but when Joey got the ball, it was just so much space to give Shane Daly and you know, the rest of his backs a foot race down with Cardiff all over the place in the backfield. But
But it's a clear tactical game wrong for me. It's 5-on-1, 5-on-2 somehow.
Good to see Jack Crowley getting some game time as well. Back with Munster after
Okay,
being on
left of the
Ireland
mark,
Sevens
please, guys.
duty.
yeah, he's an exceptional talent.
Just-
I mean,
just need to maintain
Munster
that
have
discipline
three
on the
very
ball.
good young tens with Ben
Just wait for me, guys.
Healy, who
Let's
obviously
go.
we know a lot about this year, Jake
Yeah.
Flannery, and Crowley could be the
Patience,
best of the
guys,
lot.
patience.
He's an exceptional player. Was playing sevens the last couple of weeks, I think, but a really good athlete. He's filling in now at fullback, but
Crouch.
he's a very good 10 as well.
Yes, lots of
Bind.
healthy competition as they jockey for position.
Sit. Yeah.
Lloyd Williams. Harries. Tackled by Carberry now. Evans and Thomas. Morgan, good hands. Adams forward slightly.
Yeah, just overrun that, but again, it's that intent to get the ball to Witt. And everything they did up as far as that last pass is pretty good. You see Ben Thomas just trying to fix Conway, and then yeah, just drift slightly forward, but they were able to get around Munster
Okay, let's go,
quite
fellas.
easily.
Let's go. Time is on. Let's
They
go.
don't,
Water
they
off,
don't look
please.
like finished by any means, do they? They look so dangerous.
Hold on, yeah. I'm still running. yeah, here. Sorry, that's sorry. Much better.
Top try
Yeah,
scorer,
really-
of course,
really good.
wasn't he, at the World Cup in
Really good.
2019 with
Just stay down in the pressure.
7.
please.
Interesting to see what he gets out of the summer in the Lions tour.
Crouch.
can be sure of one thing: he'll compete for every single minute of game time, and yeah, he's a player that Warren Gatland will obviously trust a huge amount, given how successful he's been for him.
39 tries in 65 matches in 3 seasons at Worcester before he came back to Wales. A former Scarlet's Academy player, of course.
Release 10.
Josh Adams.
Yep.
Coombs now. Josh Adams. Lloyd Williams now.
Okay, away now.
Into James Botham.
Yeah. Use it!
Yeah, both nines are just looking for a contestable error now. Game finally balanced. Joey takes that.
Under big pressure from Josh Adams and Liam Belcher. Strong again from O'Mahony. That's a big collision with Ollie Robinson.
Stay up. First arriving player, and you're off your feet.
Yeah, so it's the pressure he put on in the subsequent phase. You saw the Blues there, they trapped Joey Carby, big hit, and then from the next phase they chopped Peter O'Mahony. I'm not sure who went off his feet to give away the penalty, but now they've got a shot for a chance to go into the lead. And that's why, you know, sometimes fans go, oh, why do teams box kick? But it's when the game is finally balanced like that, you're just waiting for an error to give you a chance to have a little bit of possession on the front foot, or obviously have a shot at goal.
Time is off.
Massive 10 minutes for both these sides. It's a season-ending 10 minutes in many respects.
I thought it was a good contest and then went in, both of them. That's what I saw. Okay, fair. All I meant. Time back on. Water off, please. Yeah. Good contest and then went in for me. Both of you. No, both of you are in on a good contest first, okay? Neither are getting reward.
Evans then for the lead. Oh, he struck that really well, didn't he? Plenty behind that. Sweet as you like from Jared Evans, and Cardiff are back in the lead in Limerick.
Yeah, it's really finally balanced the last 10 minutes. I think probably for me, a question mark around Munster is their ability to chase a game. You know, I think they've for me, they go back to being very conservative when they're chasing the game, and obviously now, you know, they're behind with 10 minutes to go. They also need an extra try as well. Will they open up, and have they got the tools to unlock this Cardiff defence?
Yes, that's the kicker as well. Both these teams.
Okay, wait.
It's going to be eventful for the last 10 minutes, because both know that really they need the full complement of 5 points. And
from a Cardiff point of view, to come to Thomond Park at the end of the season and get a win would be obviously huge, but if they could go and get the bonus point and keep themselves in the hunt themselves, it'd be a massive result for them.
They've never won here. And Welsh sides have struggled in recent times. As I said, 2017, the last time a Welsh side came here and won.
More!
Back inside it goes from James Barron to Andrew Conway. Came a cropper via Ollie Robinson. James Botham still making those tackles. Once again, we're talking about the Cardiff Blues back row. Dynamic, energetic, high tackle count. Turnbull, Botham. Robinson, since he's come in, has done well. There is Turnbull in the thick of the action. Munster need to find something now. Botham with another tackle. Spilled by James Barron, who's only recently just with us. Not quite at the pitch of the game. That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate, because you could see the lift and intensity from Munster. They're really coming onto the ball at pace. Just obviously he's a little bit cold. His first big action. And yeah, he drops it on. And first, Munster have had 3 or 4 unforced handling errors, which has given Cardiff a chance to, you know, get a break. You see them here now. There's an injury clock's off, they're getting the water on, they're just regrouping, making sure they get a good scrum and a good exit here. But yeah, Munster were definitely disappointed with their unforced errors, and that's just another example of one.
Benetton, the leaders, of course, playing Connacht tomorrow. Top of the pile, 14 points, 3 wins out of 3, but as many people will have remarked, 2 of those wins have come against Zebra, so a couple of big tests awaiting them, potentially hold on to the final day when Benetton play the Ospreys.
Blues, let's go, please. We'll go time on when we're ready here. We'll go time on when we're ready here. Let's go.
For the
water.
South African side of things were looking pretty good for the Bulls until they lost to the Lions, but they did get 2 bonus points out of that game, so still favourites to make the final.
Nice and straight.
Do or die, said Graham Rowntree in the week, and it's very much that for both sides.
Bind. Set.
And it goes from Williams.
Great scrum, so solid.
Evans now to boot, off the outside of the boot. Daly
hold Munster.
Has a little look to see where the cover is. And the retreating Evans collects.
Wait 10, please.
Yeah, and again,
10.
Evans just so happy to cool the game down, you know, run down 30-40 seconds. He'd slice that kick, and I think it was an opportunity for Daly to punish him either with a better kick back or to counter attack. As I said, Munster need to start chasing the game a little bit now.
Carberry has his wide angle lens on, surveys what's downfield. Evans again is there. Oh, Morgan's good in this kind of position with those dancing feet of his. He had to be stopped.
Leave it, Blues.
Casey did well, and they turned it over. Could be a huge moment now. O'Mahony trying to get away from Ben Thomas. All here now for Munster in the 74th minute of the game, trailing by 3, but look where they are inside that Cardiff 22. CJ Stander, wouldn't bet against him.
Still advantage.
Having a big play on his party night at Thomond Park. Carberry into heavy traffic. 2 advantages now. Coombs. There's an intensity now about the clear out and about the speed at which Munster are trying to recycle the ball and queue up now. Casey, his antenna is twitching. Munster up to 5 metres with that advantage. They don't have a huge amount of options. Taken on by Gavin Coombs, he's usually a great option. Very often they don't need a secondary one when he's got hands on ball inside that 5 metre channel. Lockman with a carry.
Yeah, he went back.
And here they go again. Oh, that looks very good. That looks very good indeed. Munster are back in front, and they have the bonus point try.
Brilliant response from Munster. When Matthew Morgan got isolated, just see that turnover. I think it's Gavin Coombs, and from there they go down the blind side with Peter Manny. Really strong carry, and then they just picked out their best ball carriers. So you saw Coombs twice, you saw CJ Stander run onto it hard, Keelan Knox, you know, and eventually once you get 2 yards out, then it's just so hard to stop them, and that's a great response from them.
Poured over. Knox did really well, and he's got plenty of support. I think it's Wycherley and others on his shoulder as well.
Yeah, it's Coombs, Jack O'Sullivan. Just get that good body fight. He rides the first tackle, and then obviously the power comes from behind and smashes him over.
And there's so many what ifs and variables and maybes left in the last couple of rounds, but that could be a massive moment in Munster's season from Keenan Knox.
Yeah, we just see it again here. They played at a high tempo to get to here, and then they were nice and patient and got organised. You know, that 3-man pod, you know, driving each other over, and again it's that power coming behind from O'Sullivan and Coombs, which makes it look easy for Knox, but it's a combined effort.
It certainly is, and it's another try for the Munster forward pack.
Time back on.
CJ Stander now.
No, use it.
Casey now. Morgan underneath this one. He takes it while very little space, but somehow he's managed to evade those two challenge. Harry's now gets it in as far as Liam Belcher moves it on to Dimitri Orhip, and now a chance for Cardiff to put this down in the corner. There's a high challenge.
Yeah, that's the last thing Munster want to do, give Matthew Morgan a little bit of space. And
okay, yeah. Time off, it's a captain's challenge. So, number, please. Okay.
Captain's challenge here from Peter O'Mahony.
Relax, please. So change a line, obstruction. Okay, so they're challenging an obstruction first, okay? Just, yeah, it's a captain's challenge, so I'm going to review it, and then we're going to come back, okay? That's it now.
Bracey, can you just find out it's from the kick, is it? Okay.
Yeah, when you're ready, mate.
So Morgan collects comfortably in. Yeah, there's a little bit of obstruction there.
Very
Is there?
Josh, let me do my job, please.
Coombs and Hollow.
Okay, so
there's the clash of heads. Casey on his own
come
player,
back to me.
Jamie Barron.
Yeah,
really.
well, that's everything, Bracey.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's very slow. I think
Okay,
Gavin.
so he's clearly obstructed that player. He's in front. However, the foul play overrides that. I know obstruction is foul play. However, that's the worst offence is the high tackle for me, and that's why I'm sticking with my original penalty. But Munster don't lose their captain's challenge because that's successful.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just going to explain this. Captain, Blues. So it was a successful challenge. However, the high tackle's a worst offence. Okay, so they're both foul plays. It is. They're both foul play. Obstruction's foul play, and the high tackle's foul play. So just listen to me, please, CJ. Okay, so the high tackle's a worst offence, and that's why we're sticking with the original penalty. Okay. So you do keep.
Is the game not over? Is the game not over because there should have been?
Yes, but we still got foul play, Pete. Okay, so it overrides that. You keep your captain's challenge.
Well, it's very clear.
Yeah, I think
from Andrew Brace. Yeah.
that's very good communication from Andrew Brace.
Tackle, worst offence.
You know, Peter Manny and CJ Stander kind of have no complaints with that. Dual captaincy, I think they're running at the moment.
Craig Casey has gone off after that nasty clash of heads, and ball is just about in touch down there. So it is an opportunity for Cardiff now. Nick McCarthy is in. Ball happening here. By no means over, not by a long chalk. Munster have their bonus point, but hanging on to see it out for a 5-point win.
Yeah.
Cardiff looking, not for the first time tonight, to turn the tables.
Yeah.
They need to secure possession, and they've done that.
One stop.
Looking to give Munster a little bit of their own medicine here. Munster piling all hands to the pump to try and slow them down and stop them. In goes Hollow. They're still going.
Went forward after.
Hollow having a little bit of a look, but Munster turn it over, and listen to the noise, the decibel level rising. CJ Stander and co have turned it over, and that could be huge. That could be the winning and losing of the game.
Yeah, that could be massive.
Okay. Challenging challenging a maul entry. Yeah,
Captain's challenge.
It's the last 5 minutes, it's a maul entry. Okay, so line out is over. Okay. Okay, Ollie, can you hear me?
Yes, Bracey.
So Blues captain challenge, they want to challenge an entry on that maul, on that last maul, which they can do because it's the last 5 minutes.
We'll cue it up for you now.
Yeah.
Inside the last 5 minutes, of course, so you can challenge this aspect
So
of the game, which previously you
turnover
couldn't.
because they didn't use the ball.
I think the new trial laws have made it so much harder for referees. There's just so much more work, so much for the TMOs, and it kills the dynamism in the game as well. Sometimes we see here. I mean, which one is he challenging? There's probably 3 or 4 that could be side entry.
It might be Lockman, is it?
Yeah.
I think they're going with 17, Bracey.
Yeah.
So I think it's the one at the
Bracey,
end.
we're just getting the best angle, mate. Bear with us.
So it's a,
We've already got it, guys. So
I think it's a long time before that, isn't it, where he
Yeah.
actually enters the maul, because it's his angle. I mean, he's...
what we got to be clear now is when I blew the whistle there.
Yes,
and whether he's.
This is the whole thing from start to finish.
Okay, so Jeremy's there, 17, is on the left-hand side. So he's allowed to stay there as long as he doesn't change his mind. The maul shifts right now. Cardiff hooker has it. Now Halolo has it. Referee said use it.
Ollie, as far as I'm concerned here, I've already, it's past the 5 seconds. Again, they haven't used the ball, so I'm sticking with that original decision. There's nothing clear and obvious.
Cardiff not going to get the decision
Yeah,
here, it
yeah.
seems.
So
Unsuccessful,
challenge is
captain's
unsuccessful.
challenge, Munster
you've lost your
turnover.
challenge now. Didn't use the ball within the 5.
Yeah, and I think when you haven't used your captain's challenge in the last 5 minutes, you'll take a
scrum,
chance
yeah.
on something like that, particularly
Yeah,
a
you've
maul
lost the
defence
challenge.
where there's invariably someone illegal. But I
Scrum,
agree with
Munster.
Andrew Brace. It wasn't clear that Lockman was coming inside there. I think Cardiff
Lost the
didn't know he
challenge.
didn't use it
Yeah,
when he
good
said use it. They could have broken away, and Munster had so many
Discipline,
players
yeah, no
committed
doubt.
to defend that maul. There was space on the outside.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
So on it goes from Nick McCarthy.
Use it! 9.
Very solid from Munster, and away comes CJ Stander.
Okay, away.
Zero
away.
margin for error
Stay
now
there.
for Munster if they want to see this out and keep themselves in the hunt
Use it,
for
9.
Rainbow Cup honours in the inaugural season. A safety of touch from McCarthy. Munster up very quickly, nothing quick from a Cardiff point of view, and they'll have to go from 30 metres out.
Yeah, and they're dangerous from here, particularly if they go to the backs. I think
Discipline, Munster, please.
Munster have their number from a maul D point of view.
Cardiff just waiting, and we might squeeze in the Guinness player of the match here, Bernard Jackman, if we can hurry you, please.
Yeah, the Guinness player of the match for me is Andrew Conway. When Munster needed him, he won the high ball contest
then,
to
yeah.
get him back in the game and take a little bit of momentum away from Cardiff.
Can Cardiff find some renewed momentum now inside the last 60 seconds? Matthew Morgan gets it away to Josh Adams, back inside to Morgan. Everything on the table now for Cardiff. Can they flip this game on its head and keep themselves in the hunt, and with that really put an end to Munster's chances? This 4-point advantage, final few seconds of the game. On they go again with Dimitri Arhip, the Elandi in there with a challenge. Lloyd Williams, James Botham.
Yeah.
We are over the 80 minutes. Cardiff have never won at Thomond Park in Limerick. Ben Thomas gets them up and into the 22. They need to protect the ball. Adams is all the way across there to do that. On they go with Josh Turnbull. Williams again. Evans, Morgan, Ben Thomas now, 2 outside. Harries. Weary legs and tired minds.
No.
Can Munster see it out, or will Cardiff somehow snatch it? They'll need something pretty special from this kind of range.
Say.
They've held on to possession. Here they go again with Corey Hill back up into that Munster 22. All hands to the pump for the team in red. 10 phases have elapsed and not a lot of pitch out there. Harries did well this time to force his way infield. He absolutely had to. Rhys Carey waits. Can he puncture a hole in that Munster rear guard? 11 phases. Lloyd Williams, Jared Evans now. Oh, a little bit of a juggle now over the top from Matthew Morgan. Ollie Robinson, he's only got Turnbull outside him. He's a little bit isolated. Nick McCarthy can't quite get into that jackal position. Here they go again. Belcher this time. Williams. Evans flat to the line again. They go to Rhys Carey. Munster with numbers there. The bullets arrive just in time to clear it out, and potential again for both of them now.
No.
Cardiff a little bit weary and slow to arrive to the breakdown, but they're trying to keep numbers alive and players on their feet to get hands on ball. Lloyd Williams again. Plenty of targets. Here they go again now with Thornton. In goes the challenge from O'Sullivan. Breathless stuff. 17 phases midway inside that Munster 22. Both teams with their seasons on the line here. Reece Carey, that's his 4th carry, I think, in this passage of play for Cardiff. Now they must really just slow it down a fraction and ask the forwards to do a little bit of the heavy lifting. Rory Thornton is there in the thick of things. So too is Dale Andy. Can Munster get a player over the ball?
Stay here.
It's all slowed down, which will suit Munster. I think 17 phases, 21 phases, hard to see if they have the energy to really get that extra. But now they're starting to get a little bit of meters each carry.
Turnbull and
have a penalty.
CJ Standers on the wrong side. Penalty advantage now, which means that Cardiff can throw caution to the wind a little bit. Get the ball into the hands potentially of Jared Evans, or will they keep trying to plunder their way through the front door with the bulk and ballast of their forwards? Now what do we do here?
Can't reward you.
Straight in front of the post. Do you suck in as much cover you can with the scrum and try and create something?
Let's just relax. He's the captain, so he can challenge. What are you challenging? Kick the ball back in. Okay.
Okay, now has CJ spotted an infringement in there when he felt the ball might have come loose, and did one of the Cardiff players kick it back in there?
Yeah, I think Lloyd Williams may have. He was definitely.
So I've got a penalty for not rolling away on Munster 8, and they're challenging the kick back into the rock there by 9.
At the same rock?
I think it's 2 rocks prior.
They're saying the time was 82:16, Bracy.
What a brave
Bracy, we're just trying to tee it up now, okay?
Yeah.
Just bear with us.
attacking set by Cardiff to go 23 phases this late in the game. The variety, it was only when they slowed it down here.
Okay, Bracy, that looks like it's it there. Can you see that?
Yeah, so 9 has put the ball back into the rock there with his foot. Is that what we're saying?
Just in their look to see how it actually come out.
The ball has come back and he's put the ball back into the rock with his foot.
Are you comfortable that
it's
the
not
ball
out.
is out?
Yeah,
It's not out.
He
It's
still
not
can't
out.
put the ball back into the rock like he does there. He kicks the ball back into the rock.
Yep. Okay.
So
If the ball has to be out.
when you're ready, mate.
His right foot, yeah.
Oh, I'm not doubting that he kicks it out. I'm just doubting is it clearly behind the hindmost foot.
Bracy,
Yeah.
just confirm that you're happy that the ball is out and it's touched someone after he's kicked it.
Yeah, but he still can't put the ball back into the rock with his foot off. So it's going to be a free kick against Blues 21. Is that right?
Blue 21, yep.
Yeah. So the challenge is successful.
Okay.
Good challenge.
Yeah, well, it's worked, and it's also the value of winning the previous challenge for the obstruction, which Munster called also. Kept their challenge alive, and they've won this one.
So the ball's come out, it's emerged from the rock, and 9 has kicked the ball back into the rock. So it's going to be a free kick, so challenge is successful against Blue 9.
Cruel way to lose, but fair play to Munster. They got the crucial try, and they knew the laws and manipulated those rules to their advantage. But very, very hard on Cardiff. I think they deserve a huge amount of credit.
Well, Munster, in the end, have the final say. The captain's challenge, not for the first time in this competition, right at the end of a crucial game, proves crucial as Munster get the job done. They get themselves over the finish line because of the captain's challenge, initiated by CJ Stander on his last ever appearance at Thomond Park, and it means ultimately that his team still are in the hunt for Rainbow Cup honours. They have the bonus point, they have the win, and they march on to round 5. The final score of an enthralling contest at Thomond Park: Munster 31, Cardiff 27.
Adventure is calling.
Great game and all of that, Bernard. I mean, it's a slightly frivolous kind of notion, this captain's challenge, but it makes for some drama when we're in the 84th minute and there is a contentious decision like that. But it's gone the way of Munster, and they roll on. And a crucial try from Keenan Knox, and they just about get the job done. But what a game performance again from Cardiff.
Yeah, brilliant from Cardiff. They're definitely a team to keep an eye on next season. I think they're definitely building something here. They're playing with a huge amount of pride, and they have a lot of quality and are well organised. I think for Munster, look, it was really important. You could see the lethargy, you could see the effect of that blow against Connacht, and they started very slowly. But in fairness, they found entry points into the game, particularly through their line-out maul, and then when they needed to go and chase the game and get that key fourth try for the bonus point, you know, they lifted the tempo. They got their big ball carriers into the game, and you know, probably just about deserved to win. And now they still have they're in the hunt for a final again, and they'll be hoping that someone knocks Treviso out over the next 2 rounds.
A winning finish for CJ Stander, and he's all smiles now. The parting gift of a successful captain's challenge in the 84th minute of the game, and Munster breathe a massive sigh of relief under the caution. 20 plus phases for Cardiff right at the end, but ultimately the 4 tries and the 5 points, and it's a job done for Munster, albeit they had to do it the hard way, put to the pin of their collar time and again by a gallant Cardiff side who asked all the questions. And it's a farewell to Thomond Park for Tommy O'Donnell, James Cronin and CJ Stander, and it's another empty feeling for Cardiff to travel home to Wales with, that sinking feeling, the losing feeling they've experienced time and again here in Limerick, and it comes so close on their last 2 visits. But that ultimately takes them out of the reckoning after those back-to-back wins over the Dragons and the Scarlets, having lost now to the Ospreys and tonight to Munster. They won't feature in the final shake-up. Munster roll on. Zebra await, and then who knows in the final shake-up, depending on how all the results go. All eyes on Benetton against Connacht tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Johan van Graan will be a relief man tonight, but he'd be happy the way they responded, and they were challenged tonight by Cardiff in a different way than they were challenged against Connacht. Cardiff were playing a different type of rugby than Connacht played, but they eventually found the answer, and you know, they'll build on this. And for them, it's a case of, you know, obviously chasing that final, but trying to finish the season now with 2 more wins.
Andrew Conway is on his way to chat to us as Bernard Jackman's Guinness Player of the Match, and it's going to be CJ Stander to give him his award. We'll hear from him very shortly indeed. But Munster into their huddle to reflect on what was an extremely hard-fought victory. They were behind, remember, early doors inside the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but they came back gamely. And they got their reward with that 4th try from Keenan Knox, the bonus point and the full complement of 5. And it keeps them alive in the competition. Let's hear from the Guinness Player of the Match.
Andrew, Guinness Player of the Match, and we have CJ Stander here to present you with your medal. Andrew, an absolute bruising.
Yeah, you know what? It's the forwards. It's a different game for them. We've tough. We've more running, but the lads who battle up front, the hits they put in and just keep going. Jack O'Sullivan was getting sick next to me at one point from probably a collision, and it's just unbelievable to play with those lads. It was a tough match. I kind of had that feeling before. The conditions were good. Cardiff are a great team. They always give us a bit of hassle, whether it's over there or here. And obviously they started quite well, but we rallied and had a good block at the end of the first half, and then second half was back and forth. So obviously it's pleasing we're still in it.
CJ, a similar question as well, just how tough was it up front as well, and how pleasing was it that the 3 first half tries launched from the line out as well? You know, from a management and from what you're doing week in, week out in training, that must be very pleasing.
Yeah, I think they came out firing, you know, and we put ourselves under pressure for 30 minutes, and then the last, I think it was 8 minutes or something, we scored 3 tries. And yeah, again, we work hard, but then the backs get some open space, and we enjoyed when they put the ball on in the try line, you know. So yeah, look, we knew it was going to be tough. They came out firing both halves, and fair play to them.
Yeah, it's a great way to finish off the season. Another excellent win as well, Andrew. It's 10 years to the day since Munster defeated Leinster in a Celtic League final here in Thomond Park. Just how big is the hunger and the desire now to finish off with some silverware?
Yeah, it's good. You can hear them shouting at us now. They want us over because the group is really tight. You probably hear it said a lot in professional sport that it's a tight-knit group, but this is the tightest group that I've ever played with in Munster, and we've got some boys who are who've put in huge shifts over a decade nearly, who are leaving, and we're so desperate to win silverware. So we're still in the mix, but probably need to be a bit better to get that cup at the end, I suppose.
Well, listen, gentlemen, you're both very generous with your time. CJ, I know you're being called over by your Munster players there, but I do want to leave the last word to you. You mentioned before the match that it was like a bit of the end of a party. So I'll leave the last word to you, to the fans. What's the end message?
Thank you from all of us, not just me, everyone leaving, from the squad, for all the support. And I can't wait to come back here, sitting down with you guys and supporting the boys.
You're an absolute gentleman, CJ. Enjoy it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. Can we just go over and come back?
Yeah, see that photo. Photo.
So just get the photograph first.
Yeah, just the